all of the talk lately about the quote-unquote lab leak theory of
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. No one can make me care. I don't care about that if it happens. I don't think that it happened, but I'm not a fucking expert, so fuck it. I just don't fucking care.
I don't know. We can dive right into one subject that I've been real hot under the collar about lately, which is the infrastructure bill negotiations.
Yeah, no, let's while as we speak, infrastructure is literally melting
Yes.
in like Washington and Oregon, and we're all baking alive, with apparently the exception of San Francisco that is still like 60 degrees. I saw a thing.
That's irrelevant, but yeah, I'm sure San Francisco's always nice weather. But anyways, the Barbara Lee tweeted this out. So Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who
was the only person who voted against the Patriot Act, I think.
I think it was the Iraq War, or something like that. Anyways,
Patriot Act.
It was definitely in that time frame where there was a lot of bad decisions being made. But Barbara Lee, yes, longtime Congresswoman from California, is probably one of the best Congresswomen that's been there for more than 10 years. Definitely, she posted out a tweet. It was like, yeah, Portland power lines are melting right now. It's like, now try and explain to me how the climate has nothing to do with infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, and that's exactly the point of what's going on right now is the Republicans have sort of like been able to like say, hey, come work with us. We'll work on infrastructure with you. We want infrastructure too, but we just don't want to do any of the things that are going to help with the movement away from fossil fuels and that kind of thing. And I mean, that is the key to our infrastructure succeeding in the future. That
right.
if we just ignore climate change and just rebuild our bridges and roads or whatever, like whatever the fuck, that's just the bare minimum type stuff. And then we also need to be on the forefront and actually try to, you know, combat climate change and work on new renewable technology and that kind of thing. Otherwise, that's just another thing that China can beat us at. And that seems to be such a big deal to all the politicians, you know, China beating us on things. So if we're going to actually compete in the marketplace, why don't we start with that kind of thing, which is actually, you know, going to affect the future of this planet for everyone. It's actually going to create jobs. I mean, it's just ridiculous that they're bending the Democratic Party is bending the knee of the Republicans right now and just saying, okay, we'll just do some like airport repairs or whatever the fuck and spend trillions of dollars doing fucking nothing to fucking prepare our country for the future. That's how I feel about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's a huge part of it is that, like, and because I've been realizing this with like just boomers in general, right? It's like, or whatever, like, you know, old people. They literally are like in their souls. A lot of them are just like, well, I am not going to be here for any of that shit. I just saw a headline like 2 days ago that was like, you know, the U.S. just bombed like Iranian-backed militias in like Syria and Iraq or something, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
Yeah,
it's like, dude, what? We're picking fights right now? What the fuck? Like,
it's ridiculous.
we're clearly weak.
The Biden administration should learn from the mistakes of the Obama administration and start pulling it, like even just doing the optics type shit of pulling out of the Middle East. And it's just like, then they're going to fucking, yeah, just randomly attack like people that are fighting ISIS, by the way.
Yeah.
The
No.
the people that we attacked, the organizations that we attacked, I can't remember the names of them. They are fighting ISIS. That's what their main thing they're doing there right now. And they don't like the fact that the U.S. is there. They don't like ISIS either. And I think we should just leave them alone to fight ISIS alone because ISIS is not very strong right now, and they can probably fucking handle it.
Well, yeah, and it's their fucking place, man.
Yeah, it's their region. They know what people want around them. It's not our fight, like to try and bring democracies to this country or that country. It's like, how you need like 3 fucking decades to do that shit? Oh no, it's all fucking bullshit. This is all just a way to sell weapons and fucking keep the war machine going. It's fucking bullshit. And yeah,
it's bullshit, and it's bullshit, and it's causing all this weird, like, they're like, it's all the people that I keep seeing that are like, it's like it's causing solidarity with weird, like, and this has been happening forever, but it's one of those things where it's like you don't really think about it until somebody puts it in that way, where it's like, it's causing groups of people that ordinarily wouldn't be aligned with each other to align with each other against either us or the people that we back over there, or what. It's like it's just chaos, right? It's causing chaos, and all you would have to do to make it make more sense is to fuck off. And like, why don't we just fuck off?
Like the president of the Iraq government, who, as far as I know, we support as a country, is saying that we are the main cause for the fucking problems there right now, as far as the violence and the tit for tat kind of shit going on. But I mean, at the end of the day, what does this have to do with? It doesn't have to do anything really to do with Iraq or Syria, where the strikes happened. It has to do with Iran, because they are backing all of these people.
Crazy. That's fucking crazy.
No, but I mean, that's the truth, though.
And
they don't give a shit about fucking Iraq or Syria. They see those as dead fucking war zone countries. But Iran is, enemy number one to these fucking neocons right now. Like that's the golden goose. guess we normally don't get into like any individual state politics, but the Florida governor in the past month or so has really just gone full blown authoritarian. It's on the cusp of fascism, really. Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida, and
Absolute piece of shit.
yeah, one of the worst politicians in the country right now, honestly, and very likely to be the Republican nominee for president. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. So there's been about three bills recently that have crossed my radar. We talked about, of course, couple episodes ago, I think, about a bill that was basically legalizing running over protesters. But these new round of bills are more focused on education.
This was the thing that so
there's three bills. They're all separate from each other, but they all kind of they're all part of the same thing. So one of them is, of course, the big popular one right now is to ban critical race theory from the high school curriculum.
That no one can define. No one can define what critical race theory is. I had to like look it up too, kind of, right? Like it's like because I kind of know what it is, but I like wanted to be sure so that because let's face it, whatever. And I thought it was like, oh, it's like queer theory or like other like where you map the thing onto other stuff, right?
It's critical theory.
Critical theory,
which is a critique of the way that systems work in our world and throughout history, how they have worked, and you throw in race or any other factor into it, and it's just critiquing the way that race has affected and has been affected by history and by systems and government and all this kind of stuff. It's literally just fucking learning shit.
Yeah,
it's just fucking learning shit.
It's like looking at things from different perspectives.
Right.
That's it.
And so
now,
they have decided that is bad. To take that viewpoint apparently is too far for them. So that is now banned. They are now requiring high schools to teach the dangers and negative effects of communist governments.
Hilarious. That will
such as Cuba and China and the Soviet Union.
Right.
And so they're not allowed to teach critical race theory. They are forced to teach that communism is evil. And then the third one is more to do with colleges. I don't know if you heard about this one. It's kind of more recent. So they are now saying in Florida they're going to do an annual review of sort of polling college students, finding out their political opinions, tracking college students' political opinions, and defunding any colleges that don't seem to have a fair, quote unquote, fair and balanced view, or quote unquote fair and balanced curriculum, or however you want to put it. So all it takes is for enough conservative students to say that the blah 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 blah, just say whatever nonsense, spew it out, and then all of a sudden, oh, now we have a problem with this college because they're too left leaning, they're too liberal, they're too close to socialism or whatever. So it's basically an anti-intellectualism. So I honestly, when you put those three bills together, you're getting really fucking close to fascism.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also like it's just going to guarantee that less out of state students come to college in Florida. Like and it will guarantee that the people that do go to college in Florida are dumb as shit. And
It'll devalue Florida college.
Yeah, more than
degrees.
it already could be, which is ridiculous. But
I mean, there's definitely reputable colleges in Florida, but I mean,
I'm sure there are.
If
But
they're now going to be brainwashing their students, then employers all around the country who don't agree with those sentiments are going to say,
like it's like they're proving their own theory, right? So some fucking shitbag Republican is like, well, critical race theory is going to destroy America, and it's like, well, why? Oh, well, because critical race theory is undermining the values of America. Okay, well, what are those values, right? And it's like, that white people are awesome and black people deserve it, right? Like there's no answer, right? It's just a game, like a game of 20 questions would put these people in the ground, right? Like and I feel like that, yeah, sure, it would seem to me there are more people that are just willing to just blindly follow whichever thing is around or whatever, I don't know if that's true or not, and maybe it's just more visible or whatever, I don't know. But it it it's like just a couple of probing questions, right? Just a couple of like what why would learning about the Tulsa Race Massacre undermine American values? You fucking morons. Like you're just explicitly saying that it's like you're proving you're proving you're proving the critical race theory correct, right?
exactly.
We have to
Exactly.
this because it's baked into the cake that that's not how we do things here, right?
Right. White supremacism will always protect itself. And by waging a war against critical race theory, you are protecting white supremacism. Have you heard the reports from White House aides or whatever recently that Trump apparently said something along the lines of this is back in the beginning days of the pandemic. Apparently, Trump said something like, "Isn't there a place we can send all these sick people to, like an island somewhere?
Oh
like
yeah,
maybe Guantanamo?"
yeah. No, I did hear that, and I mean,
I believe it.
oh, I absolutely believe it. I mean, but it's one of those like from day one, there were reports of Trump saying the dumbest shit that you ever heard. And then people around him just being like, "Oh yeah, what a good idea. That's so good. You're a smart, good boy." And
Or
then
they're like, and then just don't say anything.
yeah, no, and then one of those two, and then they slowly back away, and then they go talk amongst themselves, and are like, like, do, 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 I mean, I can't believe an adult just said that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I love the idea that all these people are leaking all this shit because they're like, look, this is gonna go down. Like, I'm not losing my job over this, but like something's gonna happen, and like I'm not trying to be. I'm gonna tell some of this shit to the press just so that it's out there already, so that I don't have to fucking do it later after like the apocalypse comes or whatever. And like,
Yeah, they can write their book later and like say, yes, all of that shit they said was true, and I don't have to be the first one to say any of it.
yeah, and like, and I mean, craven fucking assholes, all of them.
Yeah, they're all
because you also could just poke Trump like 10 times with one finger and he would die. I really don't. I think that that Trump is being kept alive by like a force of will, and then the fact that no one ever says anything to him that he doesn't like. Right.
Well, that's interesting you bring that up because apparently they're saying now that he, and this is fucking obvious to a lot of us back when it happened, but apparently he was way sicker than the White House was letting on when he had COVID, and he was like close to death almost. Like he was like on the verge of like, well, it could go downhill or uphill from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but that White, of course, I mean, and of course, the White House didn't let this on.
Well, of
But
course.
now the aides are coming out and fucking leaking some of the shit that they were afraid to before, or whatever. But like, that's another one that came out. I was like, yeah, he was basically like, they were saying like, tomorrow is going to be a better day or a worse day, and we'll see what happens. Like,
Yeah, which is obvious
he
because
was close to being like,
it's obvious he lives on nothing but like McDonald's fish sandwiches and like fucking Pepsi or whatever. So like, yeah, or whatever. He's never drank a glass of water in his entire life, right? So he's just one of those.
Except when he tried to on camera and he had to use both hands and like.
Yeah, and be wiggly about it because his brain is mush, and so is the rest of it.
Have you heard about this controversy about Gwen or Gwyneth Berry, the Olympic athlete who decided to turn her back on the national anthem during the American Olympic?
No, but I support her in every way.
Yes.
Fantastic. Finally. I mean, somebody that actually, especially because they freaked out so hard about kneeling, right?
Yeah.
Kneeling is a sign of respect, you fucking assholes. Like, but finally, the only way I would like her more is if she turned her back and then both 2 middle fingers in the air. Like, that's the only way that I would like it more.
So she turned her back. There was two from the pictures I saw, anyways. There was two white American Olympic, whatever contestants, whatever, who were the winners of whatever game they're a part of. And Gwen Berry was basically turning her back against them, while the national anthem was playing or whatever. And then apparently put a black T-shirt over her head that said "activist athlete." And she later put out a tweet that said, "I am not going to the Olympics for myself. I'm going for the people who have been." I'm just paraphrasing right now, but it's like I'm going for the people who have been oppressed from my community, and I'm not going to pretend like they have been represented by our country or blah blah. So she has every right to do exactly what she's doing. I mean, fucking makes complete sense to me. Like, I am going to represent my country, but at the same time, I'm going to point out that my country is not a egalitarian society that they claim to be or whatever.
Right.
There's inequities going on, and I am going to point that out while doing but while proving my athletic ability, whatever. And I fully support her.
Yeah, that's fine. All well and good. Although they should cancel the Olympics because it's going to make COVID variant number 10, and then that's going to fucking kill us all.